Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby.
Mm-hmm.
What is he saying? It sounds to me like he says, check out the book while my DJ revolves it.
Check out the hook.
The hook. That makes more sense. But I'm thinking, well, he's big
Check
on
out the book.
He's
Yeah.
big on literacy. You kids go check out the book.
He's a converted Christian, you know.
My DJ revolves it. So, yeah, because I do like that song still. And every time I sing it with him, I'm singing, check out the book. My DJ will revolve it. Oh,
Check out the good book.
I think we start with that right there. That's great. Ooh, I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning with Jake and Graham, Ghostrunners
podcast. So as you heard, we have my dad on the episode today.
Yep.
Brad's real excited.
Always, baby.
And it's like last episode, a couple episodes ago, I was mentioning about how my dad took us camping. He and your coach, Uncle John.
That's my coach.
That's my coach.
Yes, 100%.
And I was like, my dad swears he heard a grizzly bear in Southwest Missouri.
At least one.
And you're like, he was probably just making that up. I was like, I don't think.
Might have been a flock of them. I don't know what we call it.
A gaggle of bears.
A group of angry bears. It was a flock of grizzlies, boys. So, talking. That's how that's how the saying "you're so stupid" got started too. So
there's
no one had ever said that before.
So just some parenting advice. That's a great line to know. So you want me to just tell the story of
Yeah, go ahead.
So boys were what? Junior high?
Yeah, probably middle school.
John, my brother-in-law, coach, talked me into taking them on a float trip. Because he said, oh, man, as a kid, we used to go floating. So we were going to go on an overnight float trip.
Can I stop at you? I don't know if everyone knows what a float trip is. I don't think I knew what it was till college. Do you want to explain?
No. So we rented a canoe, in the middle of summer, about 118 degrees. Mm-hmm. The vehicle we rode down there did not have air conditioning.
Yeah. Those canoes are made of bright metal.
I was gonna say 118, but a good thing the canoe is just pushing the sun away from you.
It's made of like the playground slide.
It's not gonna burn you instantly when you touch it. Yeah.
So we went down both canoes. Jake and I were in one. Steve Owen, coach, was in the other.
Coach,
and they were loaded full. I mean, we had all of our sleeping tents, fishing equipment, food.
Oh man.
And I don't think we fished a bit because we had to get to a certain point to camp that night. So we just pitched a tent and, slept on the ground. But I remember telling my grandmother, fairly opinionated lady, and I was telling her, oh, yeah, John and I are taking the boys camping. And she just looked me straight in the eye and goes, you're stupid.
She was like 90 years old.
Yeah, and so since then, this has been going on the last 25 years, and yeah, John and I, every time either one of us does something, we'll just tell them, you're stupid. You know what? Grandma was right about you. You are stupid.
What was she saying? You're stupid just taking the kids?
Camping.
Or
just in general.
Okay.
I think she thought it was probably dangerous for us to take the boys.
Okay.
She knew about the Sasquatch.
Yeah, she knew about the gaggle of grizzlies.
So you genuinely think you heard something like a grizzly bear? Because my theory was like, they were messing with you, and you believed it this entire time.
I've grown up on a farm all my life. I've hunted. I've been in the woods hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the Cornish game hens that John bought at the grocery store?
That was my first and only time. I'd never heard that word before, and I've never really seen it since. I don't even really know what a Cornish game hen
I don't either. It's a small bird because they were only about that big.
They're tiny, but I don't even know if they're real or manufactured balls of something.
And by the time John got done cooking them, they were that color. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember we didn't eat them.
It looked like charcoal. We threw them away. So anyway, I don't remember what we ate that night. It was miserable hot. Jake and Steve go straight to sleep. You're laying on rock, and John and I couldn't sleep, so we're sitting around the campfire. And the raccoons you couldn't even scare them away. They just, you could kick them. If they get close enough, you could kind of, not to hurt them, just to get them away. But, that's how tame they were.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting across each other from the fire. and we both heard it at the same time. And I think I'm the one that jumped across. Either I jumped across it or he jumped across it, across the fire, and we were hugging like newlyweds.
Really?
And I mean, we were. Oh my gosh! I just remember we got laughing so hard because we thought that sounded, either like a bear or a mountain lion.
Yeah.
I mean, something big. And then we got, then later in the night, we thought, I wonder if it's just some teenage kid that's got a recording of it and just sitting up there. And we only heard it once, but that was.
I do like the idea of like if you're a kid and you live in that area where people are out floating all the time, a lot of times from the city or something, just messing with them.
It'd be so fun.
Have you ever seen a bear in Missouri?
I have not.
Okay.
And we've got several black bear.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, people tell me. I've never seen one.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of the Yellowstone of Missouri, I think, kind of where we live. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, I've never seen a bear, even when we've gone out to national parks.
You've seen bobcats and stuff, though, right? I don't know the difference in a bobcat, a mountain lion, and a cougar, but I've seen one of them before.
We saw them.
Is there a difference, or is it just like regional colloquialisms?
Firefly, or
Yeah.
I think a bobcat is just, I'm going to say double the size of a house cat, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And then a mountain lion is more of,
3
bigger.
times.
5 times.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
We
6
thought,
times.
do you remember when we thought we saw that mountain lion fishing? Me and you and Steve-O were on
The mountain lion was the one doing the film.
No, but
Reel it in! Come on, Nala!
But yeah, I told the conservation agent that, and he strongly disagreed with me.
The expert didn't believe it.
Not at all. So.
That's just my pet. Yeah, my pet tabby
Maybe it's
cat.
because you worded it. We saw a mountain lion fishing. He's like, no, you didn't. Yes, we did.
They can't fish.
They're not.
They don't have thumbs.
Right.
They can't reel.
Man, I do like the idea of taking my kids on a float trip, but it's one of those things. So many things when you're a parent are just like that sounds great until you do it, and you're like, we're in the thick of it now, and there's no going back. Like,
It was terrible. I mean, there was not one enjoyable. And then, you stay up all night, and then we had to go like 6 more miles to get to our takeout station.
yeah.
And then they take us back in a bus. The bus obviously had no air condition.
Yeah.
Then we get in my car. We haven't eaten in 36 hours.
Yeah.
No air condition, and it's terrible.
What do you? How?
See, I don't
scale of 1
remember.
to 10.
I don't remember it being miserable. I
Yeah.
remember it being like a fun, like float trip and camping trip.
Yeah, you
It's
got
like that's
about
kind of
11 hours
funny.
sleep.
Yeah, I slept great. I was like, that's kind of funny. We didn't eat. Oh, John burnt the chicken. That's kind
Yeah.
of funny. Oh, my dad thinks he heard Sasquatch. That's kind of funny.
That's a great testament to like so often as a parent, you're like, this is going so bad, and yeah, your kid looks back and they're like, no, that was awesome.
I think it was like, I was podcasting before I was podcasting because we came out of it with so many stories. So I was like, overall, that's a great trip.
There you go.
We had so much to tell mom and grandma.
We've always kind of enjoyed the vacations that did not go smooth because I think it makes for a lot funner. And our family, all of our family got a good sense of humor.
Everyone's good storytellers and they love a good story. You ever been to Memphis, Brad?
Yeah. You ever been to Memphis, Steve?
Let's just tell vacation stories.
Yeah, I would
today.
love to hear more.
So Jake's favorite player, Jason Williams.
Oh yeah, basketball.
White Jason.
White chocolate.
'cause there's
yeah,
two
there
of
was
them.
two.
Two of
One of them killed a guy. One of them was really good at ball handling. So
So Jake wore number 55 until he got to school because of Jason Williams. And we
did
went,
you really?
Yeah, he was on the Kings. He was number 55. Then he got traded to Memphis Grizzlies. He's number 2. So, but we wanted to go see him when he was playing for the Memphis Grizzlies because also that's when they played the Pyramid, which is now the Bass Pro in Memphis. But yeah, they're playing the Pyramid. So same before. Me, my dad, your coach, and then cousin Steve-O.
Okay.
Gonna go to Memphis.
probably junior high level again,
Yeah, probably.
age.
Yeah,
So we drive down to Memphis, went to Graceland.
loved
Do
it.
you remember that?
I remember falling in love with taking pictures. I took so many pictures with a disposable camera of Elvis's mansion. I thought it was fun.
Anytime I get close, whoever's with me, they get drugged to Graceland. So we went to that. I had looked at the tickets wrong. We got ready to go to the game for the 1 p.m. tip-off. Tip-off was not till 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, we looked at I think that one's a 7.
That one's kind of smudged.
So we were staying in West Memphis, Arkansas, which, if any of you don't know, that's probably one of the rougher areas in the Midwest.
Or Mississippi.
No,
Arkansas?
West Memphis, Arkansas.
They're
Yeah.
all Arkansas's up there too.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible location.
Okay.
And also,
So-
had we known the game was at 7:30, we wouldn't have needed to spend the night. You can make that drive in a day. So
Oh, right.
we have spent the night for what we end up realizing is for no reason, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, we got a lot of poker in. When your kids are 12 years old, might as well play poker with.
That
us.
was
Kind
like
of the time to teach them.
That was like the golden
Texas
age
Hold'em.
of
It was Texas
ESPN.
Hold'em.
Yeah.
World Series of Poker.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, Ming the Master over there. Yeah.
So
sunglasses
Helmuth,
on.
Chris
Yeah.
Ivy.
So I had made us a reservation at the Ramada Inn, and then of course Coach, he's like, "Oh, there's no way we're staying in West Memphis," and so he changed the reservations. And on the way there, do you remember we drove by the hotel that I had booked?
It looked
right next to Cracker Barrel, a very nice hotel. We get to his. Security guard met me outside in my car. He walks me inside. John and the boys stayed in the car. Bulletproof glass to the attendant.
Really?
And when they gave me the room key, he goes, "Would you like an escort?" I go, "No, we're good." He goes, "No, you need an escort."
So you felt very safe. These people.
So
yeah.
we check
There's
in.
so much security
Wow,
here. This is
yeah.
awesome.
We check into the first room, and do you remember what it was when we opened the door?
No, actually.
There was a bed frame, but no mattress or box spring.
What? Is this has to be a motel? This is like ones that the door is right there on the outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of horseshoed. You guys can see that. I'll draw it down.
Yeah, there you go.
You all understand what a horseshoe is, probably. And so, like the pool, so you enter from the kind of the inside of the courtyard, I guess.
Okay. Courtyard. Must
So
be nice.
we open the door. There's just a single bed in there, no mattress, box springs, just the frame.
I can't imagine that being.
Stole a whole mattress. And box
The
spring.
security guard was still with us, so he took us to another room. And we got in the room, and we started playing cards. The pool was empty and had
Yeah.
Like no people, or like there's no water.
no water, and stuff had been thrown in there.
It was like
kind
a
of
trash can.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
a big
Kind of a
trash can
landfill.
And so
Well, how are you? Are you the kind of guy? Like, are you just giving John, Coach, just the hardest time for booking this? Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
like, are you mad at him, or is it
No,
like
no.
funny? Like,
Yes.
you are stupid.
You're
Like,
stupid.
yeah.
Grandma was right.
Right? Yeah.
No, because I think our family, we don't let anything die.
Yeah.
And if you made a mistake in third grade, you're still hearing about it today.
Yeah.
So anytime something like that goes bad, I love it just because I'm thinking, oh,
You got
I got
ammunition.
something. Yeah.
I'm going to hang on to this
Yeah.
like death. So we start playing poker, and then we remember that we'd left the cooler,
Yeah, we had a nice cooler in the van or whatever we were taking.
and we had forgotten that. And so we played one hand of blackjack, and the loser had to go run out and get the cooler. And luckily it wasn't one of the boys, because we'd have sent them. Hey,
Hey,
you
that's
lost.
the rules. Yeah.
You hit on that 16, buddy. And so I remember we opened the door and John just running out there. And we wanted to start hollering stuff
Sure.
to make it worse,
Yeah.
but then we thought, you don't want to get him killed. So he got back, and for some reason we played poker till pretty late at nighttime. And then we had never noticed it until we were going to bed. And do you remember what the funny part was about us trying to sleep?
Totally. It was weird that we hadn't realized it before, but yeah, lights are all off. All four of us are in one hotel room, and it's just silent. Nobody's talking or anything. And then it sounds like we're on an aircraft carrier, and they're launching the Air Force like into action. Like we have to defend Pearl Harbor. Go. They're sending planes so quickly, and it sounds like it's ripping up the shingles from our hotel. I mean, it is crazy how loud it is. I mean, it's the middle of the night. Like, what are these planes doing? I don't know what's happening.
We were either at the end of the runway or the beginning of the runway.
It's
I don't know.
unbelievable.
And I'm telling you, but there again, we laughed until we cried.
I just
Yeah.
remember giggling so hard.
Because one would go by.
Like,
and
that's
then,
pretty loud.
It'd be like 3 or 4 minutes, and you think, okay, well, maybe I'm going to get to sleep. And then here it would come again. And
Rumbling.
we would just, that may have been one of the hardest times I've laughed, because we
Yeah.
were just dying. There's no sense in getting mad at it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, what are you gonna
I've
do?
got stories for the rest of my life.
Oh man. So it was like
So-
the Memphis airport.
We
or-
must have been right next to, I don't even know. I guess you couldn't look stuff up like that back
Yeah.
then. So just, let's go to the game now.
And
At
I don't
7:30.
even- Yeah, I don't even remember the game. I don't remember a thing of the Memphis Flippers. No,
Beale Street Flippers.
Bill Fleet. I remember them being there.
Yep,
Can't
they were the
say
halftime
it. Can't
entertain-
say it, but I remember them being there.
What is that? They literally flipped up in the air.
They were like a kind of a circus act of sorts, a street performing act. They
Yeah,
had
yeah.
them be the halftime entertainment. And yeah, just some acrobats, some gymnasts from Beale Street. I remember Jason Williams having a pretty good game. I remember Pau Gasol being on the team.
Stromae Swift,
I don't remember him.
Big Country Reeves.
I think they were not
Yeah.
at the same time, but Yeah, that was a memorable little vacation, and yeah, just funny that like none of the girls had any input in like helping plan this. Like, oh, I'm sure they got it. Just take our kids to West Memphis. Like just.
I just love that. It sounded like the Ramada Inn was just a great, nice spot, and
right off.
And John's
interstate.
like, "This is Steve. Come on, I got this." Yeah. And instead, you just stayed in a place where you needed. I've never heard of security at a hotel.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Man.
We don't have Timon today. We're recording on the weekend, so we let Timon, have his time off, be with his family. But I know you're very impressed by Timon's running. You've been telling me this on the phone.
It's crazy.
You watched the live stream
when the one girl kind of doubted him, and shame on you for doubting him. But I thought maybe,
So you doubted him too.
Well, I haven't been,
shame on that girl, but hey, she made a good point.
I haven't been around a lot of homeschool kids.
Hey, Tim Tebow's homeschooled.
But yeah, I was very glad he did because I thought, it's going to be embarrassing if he goes 8:29. I thought I was so much faster.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I couldn't believe how many people watched it.
Yeah, we had like 290 pretty much consistently watching, even like when Rachel's going. It's like, we've been doing this an hour now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy. So.
Very fun.
Yeah.
So, no time in today, but all good. Something else I wanted you to clear the air with. I was telling Brad, I think, off the podcast recently, because we were talking about how we've talked about on the podcast how we don't know what a tractor pull is.
Yeah.
And I think you've told me, and I still don't know what a tractor pull is. I was like, but you happen to grow up with a guy who invented it, right?
Mm-hmm. Stacy's. The Stacy family from Fairgrove. So basically, a tractor pull, and they have all different classes. They've got, you can just bring your farm tractor out, and you'll start at one end, and the further you pull the sled, you'll pull a sled, and the further you pull that sled, there's weight that will rise up on the sled.
So it's almost like you're going uphill.
And so the further you go, the heavier the sled gets. Back in the day when I was a kid, they did not have that. And so they would literally pull a sled, just a huge, it might be
it's like a toboggan.
Like a tabletop, but it would be, 100 feet long and 30 feet wide.
Holy cow.
And so when you were standing there, you stood right on the edge of the track, and when that sled would go by, you'd just stand on it.
Who would? The spectator?
The people the spectator. Dangerous thing. I just can't believe that went on back then.
So you guys are all lined up on a football field, like, all right, I'm at the 15. When the tractor drives by, I got to hop. I got to make my bus.
And if you were on it when they first took off, before there was any weight, it was moving.
Yeah. Wait, so the idea is this thing is flat on the ground, like it's like okay, and it's just a massive panel on the ground.
Yeah.
And as it goes on, everyone's like,
More
jump
people.
on! Everyone,
But
it's just like a huge party, like stage or something.
Where Dad and I would joke about that was because we'd stand there and we'd do it for maybe an hour or so, and then we'd go get something to eat. Well, then there's people standing in line. So at the time, I probably weighed 65 pounds.
Right.
I go to get a hot dog, and the guy that replaces me weighs 240 pounds.
Yeah, it's very flawed science behind this whole thing.
So anyway, some a man from Fairgrove, Bill Stacy, came up with some sort of hydraulic system that the further that sled ran, it would go up. But
are they still? Is that what they use everywhere now?
That's what they use to this day.
Did he patent it, and is he doing just fine? Or
I don't think so. In fact, I saw one of his boys the other day. I didn't bring that up to him. But some of these tractors now, some of them, it'll be stock tractors where you just bring your farm tractor in. But like Lucas Oil had them, and they would run up to 6,000 horsepower. Loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Yeah. But it's boring as all.
How fast are they going?
I'd say taken out, when they first, the top ones, I don't know, when they first they probably reached 30 mile an hour pulling that sled.
That's pretty
I would
fast.
love to know how fast they could go just like in a drag race.
Right, yeah.
Because 6,000 horsepower, but yeah, it's, if you watch a couple of them, you go, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Right.
But then if you watch 100 of them go, there's not a lot of difference in somebody pulling 275 feet and 277 feet.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, we grew up always going to the Johnson County Fair's Demolition Derby, and it was awesome for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like, this is nuts, this is great. And then eventually it was like, all right, I don't think we're going to stay for the whole thing.
Lucas Oil Speedway had boat races too, and that's when they were my customer. I was their salesman, so I would go to every event for them to help them and they had boat races. And some of the boats, I can't remember what they would, but they would run the quarter mile in less than 4 seconds.
Hold on,
They
I'm
were
confused.
amazing.
This is a dirt track.
No, this is a drag strip for boats.
But like on the Ozarks, or where is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Wheatland, Missouri.
Okay.
Population
Okay.
159 or something like that. But
Yeah.
he built this massive race car track and
Okay.
drag strip for boats. But
4 seconds, you said?
probably like a 3.6 around there in a quarter mile.
On a
and they
boat?
would fly.
Did they ever get like just fly?
Not
literally
when
fly?
I was not when I was watching.
Okay.
But the biggest class, there'd be 100 boats in this. And it wasn't even the fastest in the quarter mile. It was who can come closest to 7 seconds.
Oh,
So they were
interesting.
still running like, 165 mile an hour top speed or something.
People
But-
swimming trying to do it.
But yeah, in fact, the promoter, he was complaining about, and I go, it's boring. That's
Yeah.
why you don't. I said, if you want to make it exciting, put a guy on a tube behind him.
Yeah.
The boat,
Get a ramp.
Yeah, the boat and the tube's got to make it to the finish
Yeah.
line. But yeah, just one after another, like, this is terrible. So
That kind of unlocked a memory. I remember you dragged me up there a couple times. We would go up there. Why did you have to do that? I don't think other salesmen were attending
I
drag
don't.
races.
And it was just customer service.
That's right.
I remember that was one of my first times really smelling beer. Like that going there. Just everyone, just beers at.
Hey, Mama likes to drink when she goes racing.
But yeah, I only went up there 2 or 3 times probably, and sometimes it'd be fun.
It was a different clientele, but there was parts of it I did enjoy, but it was every Saturday night in the summertime, and you and Caitlin and Mom went with me once,
Yep.
and refused to ever go back.
Because all that beer smell.
So, yeah, Mom did not like it.
Speaking of county fairs, I just had a kind of another flashback. I remember when we performed at one in Ohio like a year or so ago. We were just kind of all looking around at stuff, and there was an event. Maybe you know what this is, but they had like little boys, little girls, 10-year-old girls, just
Hey,
hitting pigs with a stick. What event is that?
Just showing pigs.
That's showing pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are you trying to get the pig to do? What are you guiding it?
I don't know, and I showed pigs.
Not very well.
I really don't remember because we showed cattle.
Yeah,
You hitting those with sticks too?
yeah. What'd you hit those
What kind of
with?
sticks are we talking?
So a stick was,
Good question.
Like a switch kind of thing, or like
no. This is going to sound bad if I really don't know, but I'd say it's the size of a broom handle.
Okay.
And mine had a little hook on the bottom of it.
Okay.
And so when I would show the cattle, they were always looking for the posture of the cattle, and then when you'd bring them out to the middle and have them pose, they wanted to straight back, and you'd rub that stick kind of on their belly.
Okay.
Oh, to get them to like. Kind of,
Or if their feet weren't perfectly, when they came to stop, their feet were supposed to be perfectly in line, and you might tap a foot to bring it up.
Okay.
And so I had to show one year, I can't even remember what breed of cattle I showed, but I put it off to the last minute because, most people spend hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours training these cattle. Mine wasn't even tame enough to lead by a halter, but I was the only person in my class. And so I won grand champion.
Hey, that's why you knew you weren't going to practice it. Like,
And so, most people are so proud to lead
Yeah.
them out, and they walk like a dog for you. And I remember when they gave me my grand champion ribbon, it was such a struggle for me to bring my cow out there. They said, you can leave the cow in the pen.
he's just bucking.
And so, yeah. And then, I showed pigs too, and I really don't remember. I don't even remember what they were looking for on pigs.
Yeah,
this is my pig.
this is
It's a pig.
this is sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember the name of any of the pigs? Did you attach?
We didn't name
No.
them. We ate them.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we never named any of our animals.
Okay. Let's ask. Have you talked to your dad about dry mouse?
Oh no. Yeah. What would you? Yeah, it'd be interesting. I got that whole bucket mechanism to catch mice in. Okay.
He just
The nod on the podcast is great.
It just seems like a lot of work to catch a mouse, to be honest.
Well, you can catch a lot at once. Brad caught 7 one time.
Really.
yeah. I was gone for like a week over Christmas and came back and there were 7 in there.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Anyway, when we got back from Gulf Shores, there were 2 in there. Tossed them out, put them back in. I forgot to fill water up in the bucket and ended up catching a mouse in the bucket, but he's in a dry bucket. What would your next move have been?
Step on him.
Oh, okay.
Put him on a bologna sandwich. Go to town.
You would have step on him? Then you got it on your shoe. You don't mind?
What would you have done with him?
I said I would have drowned him.
Oh, stepping on him so much more humane.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Stepping on him is more humane.
Well, yeah. At least they kill them before they know what happened. Drowning, they're like going to be going, I can't keep this up much longer.
Yeah.
I mean, they know it's not going well.
We did read that they could swim for a little while or something.
When they see my shoe coming, all they think is it's gotten cloudy.
Yeah.
And that's the last
Must be
thing they
nighttime.
remember.
Yeah.
I
didn't know it was supposed to rain today.
I didn't consider the shoe even being an option. That's great.
I don't hate like the immediate like squashing. I just would not use my shoe. I don't think I would find something else that I can throw away or something. I don't know.
Catherine's shoe.
Yeah. Get Bo to do it.
Bo would do it.
Bo would be just fine. It'd be a game.
Grab
for
it
him.
by the tail and swing it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, Bo, yesterday, I asked Bo, I was like, Bo, you want to go play baseball? And he's like, yeah. So we went and played. And for whatever reason, he could not take his eyes off Harrison Pollard. I would try to pitch to Bo, and he'd look at me for a little bit, and he'd just turn around and just stare at Harrison. He just loved
He was
Harrison.
like infatuated.
It was
Yeah.
so funny.
Who does?
Yeah, I kind of get
No,
it.
yeah. Before you got there, Harrison was reading him a few books, and Bo was just like putting his head on his shoulder, like as he was reading to him. I was like, he's a lovable guy.
Yeah.
Like Bo is. Like he did that same thing to you. He like came up and was like hugging on you and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, he was. I did notice like he was
so
really
funny.
eyeing Harrison a lot. I also looked over. I was like having a conversation with Peter, and I looked over, and Jake's probably pitched 15 pitches in a row to Bo without any contact from Bo.
It was
I
fun
like,
to try and
Jake's
figure
being so
out.
patient.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, is it a velocity issue? I feel it's like I need to hit the bat. So
Yeah,
where is
it's
Bo swinging it?
If Bo's not hitting it, it's the pitcher's fault. Because at that age, it's all on the pitcher.
I was watching it. I was like, I think they need to be a little bit farther apart. At least that's how I'm.
he has more time.
because he was always swinging too late. Like he was like
Well, then
takes too much
sometimes
of a
he
hack
would
at
he
it.
would swing as soon as I pitched it.
Oh,
so it's like every
okay.
now and then I just need to hum one, and he just launched it out of the park.
because if he makes contact, he can hit it far.
He had one, and it was amazing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You brush him off the plate, any?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what it was is
music.
both kids, because they would switch. Hattie would be the catcher, and then Hattie would be the batter. They both wanted to catch the pitch, but I'm not throwing it in on a line, so they can't. So they kept like Hattie would like charge the plate to try and catch it, and she never got smacked. But I kept being like having to avoid them all from each other. But
it's amazing. We've played baseball outside, not that many times, 20, 30 times though, like quite a few times, and they still don't understand. Like Bo's left-handed, Hattie's right-handed,
Yeah,
and they cannot get it through their
Hattie's
head where to
doing it
stand.
wrong.
Yeah,
Hattie's doing it wrong.
Hattie, you're on the wrong side. You got to go over on the other side, Hattie. And like they also don't understand where to sit or like stand for being a catcher. Like you're too close. Okay, now you're 50 feet away. It's way too far. Come on back.
It was funny. Bo was kind of bossing around Harrison because Harrison's like, I'll be the umpire. And so Harrison's like, all right, we got 2 strikes. Bo's like, no, say that's strike 2. Harrison's like, all right, that's strike 2. He's like, yeah, good.
I know you think like surely they're not gonna like say those kind of things. They say that kind of stuff to me, but it's like they're not. They understand like there's a social difference. No, they don't. They don't. They'll say it to anybody. So
Harrison, say that's strike 2.
yeah, we had a good time last night.
Yeah.
Kind of a late celebration for Catherine's birthday. Had some friends over and just hung out and saw the kids for a while before they went to bed. And
When's Catherine's birthday?
May 11th.
11th.
Yep.
A lot going on.
Right.
It's a couple weeks.
Yeah. Right. The day before Mother's Day. So I don't know. Do you have any? When's Trish's birthday?
8th.
Yeah, she's right there too. Which is like, on one hand, it's like I don't hate 2 birds, 1 stone kind of idea. Like, but on the other hand, I'm like I want to celebrate you a lot. Like I want to, recognize both holidays.
Yeah, Trish gets screwed.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
no way
And
around it.
Like jokingly at the end of Mother's Day, I was like, "Happy birthday! Hope it was a great birthday." Just like it just felt like we were doing deja vu 2 days in a row of like, "Let's celebrate Mom. Here's a card that you didn't know about." And, Bo scribbled on it to sign his name.
Well, it's harder to celebrate Mother's Day when the kids aren't, I mean,
Yeah.
it's me and Trish. I think, we went to church. Sharon came over after church.
Yep.
We worked in the basement
Yeah.
because the basement flooded. And then,
Oh, really?
it
It flooded a
wasn't-
while back, or recently it did.
yeah.
Like a month or so ago.
Yeah, probably about 3 weeks. Whenever we had all that rain.
Yes, and you're still working. Like it's still just a huge.
Yeah, it's,
Because it's a finished basement.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was.
Right.
Not now.
We went through that too, and it's no fun. We went through it either 2 or 3 times growing up. And then finally, I think after the second time, my parents were like, we need a sump pump. We didn't. The first time they were like, it's never flooded. It's not going to. I'm
had
sure
a
that was
sump
just a
pump.
fluky thing. Yeah.
So I went down. I mean, we have not had rain for 2 years. I mean, enough for that sump pump to come on. And
Right.
so it started raining that Thursday. And I went down that morning, checked on the sump pump. It was running fine. Trish called me. It worked fine Thursday. Friday evening, Trish called me. She goes, hey, did you go down the basement? I go, yeah. I checked. I said, sump pump. She goes, I'm just going to stop you right now. She goes, our basement's flooded. We got 3 inches of water. Dogs are down there playing in it. She goes, I don't know what to do. And so, so right above that sump pump, about 2 feet above, there's a little butterfly valve. So when the water comes on, the water can go up. But when the pump shuts off, that valve will go back, keeps the water from running back down.
Yeah.
It stuck. It malfunctioned.
So you had the things in place for it. It just
So
wasn't working.
for a $12.99 part,
Dang it.
about I don't know, 15, 20 grand.
Dang, man. Yeah.
And so
And did you see your insurance doesn't
no,
cover?
no, not at all.
We got to talk to somebody about this.
I know it.
Yeah.
I had them email me my policy, and then I sent it to one of my best friends that's an agent in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Been an agent for 30 years. And so he read it over. The next day he called me. As soon as I answered the phone, I thought, oh, it's going to be, he goes,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Oh, you're stupid.
He
No.
said, and he was kind of upset with he goes, dude, it's on page 28. They do not cover, and it was phrased, reverse rainwater damage.
How can you? Yeah. And how? There's got to be ways to like kind of get around it. I don't know. How do you prove that it was that?
Well, I think, I don't know.
Yeah,
It
we don't
is
have to
what
get
it
into-
is. I mean, Trish and I spent all night Friday night, all day Saturday. And so, we had to rip all the carpet up, baseboards, all the door casings, inside and outside, cabinets.
Oh, cabinets even.
We've thrown away 3 trailer loads so far, and we got another. That 1-800 got junked. My best friend.
Yeah, you know them.
They're coming again Monday.
Jeez,
And
that's so tough.
It's been, but
that literally we bought our house. We hadn't even moved into our house yet over here. And we got, I think it was like 12 inches of rain in 3 hours or something crazy like that. And I was going over there with one of my buddies anyway to like work on the house, like do some little demolition and stuff before we moved in. And we had to like stop on the highway because it was raining so hard I couldn't see. I felt it was dangerous. And we get there and just standing water in our basement. And people all around, all throughout the neighborhood, like, our house has never flooded in the 30 years we've lived here, and we got 5 inches of water last. And so, it's one of those things. Like back in the day, I used to love the rain, and when it poured down rain, I was like, "This is so great. We can just stay inside and enjoy the rain and watch it." And now it's like, every time it rains, I go downstairs and just like check my basement just in case.
I'd rather have a tornado. At least that's covered.
Give me that. Yeah.
Tear up the house.
Anyway,
should we do a shmores?
let's do some s'mores.
Let's do it. Brad, you want to announce the category today?
Yeah, I believe we're calling it the s'mores, the draft of substitute cuss words.
So what are your best replacements?
Yep. So obviously we are just good men here. We don't ever say a bad word. You know.
Let me ask you guys: do you guys cuss any?
No.
I do sometimes, but it's almost always private
because of anger,
yeah.
pain.
Oh, is there a difference? To me, like I get mad when I hurt.
All right.
It's only in the wood shop when I'm like I mess up or like I get scared of like I almost just cut off my finger and I'm mad at myself. So that's a little bit of both.
So I had a terrible mouth on me when I was a kid, junior high through high school, and probably about, I think is this summer between my junior and senior year. I was over to a friend's house where we had a lot of people over, and basically I was doing my stand-up routine for them in the living room, and somebody had recorded me. And then a few days later, they played it back for me, and I was embarrassed.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's terrible. But I grew up listening to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and stuff, and so I had a terrible mouth on me, and then just shortly after that, I'd heard somebody make the comment: the only people that use cuss words are people that are not smart enough to think of an alternative word. And so I quit cussing right then.
Yeah.
Except with my good Christian friends.
Really?
And
There was
told
something-
I just told Trish, one of my constant prayers is I don't want to be a stumbling block, for somebody. So, I mean, people from my work, my customers, acquaintances of mine, they've never heard me cuss.
Sure.
But when I'm with Paul Shira, it's terrible.
Let it fly. That's funny.
I told Trish, if you don't want to hear it, don't listen to voicemails because we get mean. But
Interesting.
yeah, and it's funny. And Trish, I've never heard Trish say one. But I don't cuss when I get mad or anything
Really?
like that. No, dang, it's about as bad as
Yeah,
they say.
it's like, whoa, Dad.
Unless I'm talking to Paul.
Up. Yeah.
Well, if I'm talking to Paul.
It's an interesting phenomenon just in general. I don't know, Jake, we don't have to get too far into this, but like, I feel like our age Christians, like it's almost like this trend now of like, yeah, we're Christians, but we still cuss.
There's like this very popular meme page. It's called Christians Who Curse Sometimes.
Yes. It's like, it's like, but it's almost like we're like certain people, it feels like they're like trying to prove like, hey, like you can cuss and still love Jesus. It's like,
I can be in the world, but not of it.
Yeah, but let's not like make people like think that we're just stumbling blocks of whatever. It's an interesting thing. Like, have you noticed that? Like,
I'm not going to nail the exact timeline, but I feel like it was like 15 years ago. Christians were like, "How about beer?
You know what?
We're going to start drinking beer." And then about 10 years ago, it was like, "And tattoos." And about 5 years ago, it was like, "And we sometimes cuss."
And we cuss every once in a while. Yeah, like even like Christian artists and stuff. Like you'll hear them say stuff. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really adopted that, but for whatever reason, in the wood shop by myself, if I get mad, I'm throwing some stuff around. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but
Do you want to tell the story real quick? Because you used to apparently cuss a lot. You also used to have road rage, and then that also got fixed pretty quick. Do you want to tell Brad that story? Did we tell this last time we were on the podcast? I don't know.
I think I did.
Yeah, I thought you might have too.
About the guy, tailgating the guy from church.
yes,
Yeah,
you did tell me that story.
For 2 hours. Hey, so basically, long story short, Trish and I go into concert. I'm right on a guy's rear end.
Yes.
Couple weeks later, see Roger at church. He goes, "Hey, did you enjoy the concert?" And I go, "Yeah, did you?" And he goes, "Yeah, you followed me the whole way down there." And I'm telling you, since then, you can do anything you want to. I do not care anymore.
Really?
Oh.
Do you feel like he knew for sure? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't like one of those like
we were
yeah, you're
closer than you and I are now.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I was riding him.
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
So funny.
Oh,
Can't even imagine it.
All right. Hey, it's Wednesday, which means it's Main Street Roasters is sponsoring us today, right?
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Oh, just check the clock. Yep, Wednesday, Main Street Roasters Day.
That's the Main Street Day.
So if you are new to this podcast, our most loyal, most consistent, most beloved sponsor is Main Street Roasters Coffee, based out of Indiana. You can check them out at mainstreetroasters.com, and they're just amazing.
They're a wonderful family-owned company.
Yeah, just the perfect sponsor. Could not be more bigger fans of them and how they support us. So every week we ask that you consider checking them out, whether it's getting yourself some coffee or getting a friend in your life, dad, mom, babysitter.
Yeah. Guardian,
gardener,
legal gardener,
legal gardener. Get them some
swimming
coffee.
instructor,
Jiu-jitsu
coach,
cable provider. Find someone and get them
street
some coffee.
cleaner.
There you go. Dental hygienist.
We're getting them going.
Get them some coffee.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to air within the episode, but Steve's talking about how he's all about black coffee now. Main Street Roasters only, baby.
Spoiler: 90% of full price could be yours. Promo code is GRKC.
What's the website?
MainStreetRoasters.com.
Cool.
Check him out.
Cool.
All right.
So speaking about cuss words, I do want to tell a story to you.
Great.
And the only way Trish and I figured out, we used to watch a TV show, Coach. Do you remember with...
I was just telling Brad a story last night. Cheers. Well, I'll let you tell your story.
Okay.
But Cheers influenced me poorly.
Craig T. Nelson had this
I
sitcom,
remember Coach.
And I love that show. I thought it was a great show, but I guess they cussed a little bit because Trish and I never cussed around the kids or never cussed in general. But Jake was maybe 4. It was the day before Vacation Bible School, and we were up in the attic, and the neighbor started up a lawnmower. I'm going to say a swear word if people need to bleep it out.
Fast forward 15 minutes.
So
30 seconds.
we're up in the attic, and the neighbor started up a lawnmower, and Jake goes, "What the hell was that?" and I go, what? He goes, "What the was that?" And I said, "Boy, Jake, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing up here. What'd you say?" He said it again. So the night before Vacation Bible School, we're thinking, the church is going to think Trish and I are terrible.
Right.
So he said, you can't say that. Well, then the family got a hold of it. And so every time Angie or John or my mom and dad, 100 times a day, they go,
Yeah.
now, Jake, what words can I not say? And he had a speech impediment anyway. Can't say hate, can't say stupid, can't say what the hell, can't say. And he just rattled it off. But,
I remember being kind of a puppet to
Yeah.
that specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Like they kept asking me.
Right.
I already told you. I can't say hate. I can't say stupid.
And so the idea was that he heard it from Coach.
that was the only thing we could,
Yeah.
unless Trish was talking dirty while I was at work. and
Right,
shit.
yeah, of course.
But, yeah, I really don't know. But yeah, we quit watching Coach real quick.
That's funny. I was thinking it was Cheers, but maybe it was Coach.
And it could have been Cheers too. But I like that show too. So, all right, so alternative cuss words. How many rounds do we get? We get 4 picks?
We have 4 picks each.
Jake told me about I didn't write anything down.
I think,
I grew up with the alternative cuss word. So
do you want to pick the order of who goes first, second, third?
well, let's just go this way.
So I go first?
Bradley, Steve,
Okay.
Jacob.
Great. All right. I do have a list here. I'm going to go with one that I think some people are like almost uncomfortable because of how good of a substitute cuss word this is.
Okay.
I'm going to say frick. Like some people are like, whoa, I don't know if I want my kids listening to this right now. like if you just give a hard, just frick, like people are uncomfortable with it. Are you a little uncomfortable right now?
So uncomfortable.
Oh, frick. And that goes for all the, like you can call people frickers. You can say, what the frick? All the different things. Frick. Number 1.
There was alternative cuss words that I would get in trouble saying when I was young.
Yeah.
Because my mom goes, it means the same thing.
I think, yeah.
I remember, I'm pretty sure it was you or Mom, maybe both, but you guys did not let me. This was like the second iteration of what I learned from Coach, but you guys wouldn't let me say what the, because it implied. Oh, is that what you're going to say? No! Oh, I didn't think that counted as a substitute. Sorry, you can take it. You can
I
take
didn't
it.
know because Steve-O used to say it.
Is that where I got it from?
I don't know, but he would always say, what the? And then he'd stop. Drove me bananas. I mean, because I thought, well, and he was younger when he was doing it. Angie and John didn't think anything about it, but it drove me crazy because
Yeah.
that was going to be my number 1.
Oh, no, sorry, that can be. I didn't. Sorry.
I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, that could be your pick. I was just
Yeah.
telling a quick story.
Yeah. I think Hattie does. I mean, Hattie's saying what the heck now all the time and stuff. But for a while, it was just what the. And I think, yeah, we kind of felt that way too. Of like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I hated that. And actually, that wasn't even going to be, but that's the one that gets under my skin the most.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So probably
the
not
most
the one
aggressive.
Yeah. Never said it, but that probably gets under my skin the most.
I would never. Okay, so we got frick and we got what the. I'm going to go with my goodness.
Ooh. Okay.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I think that's a time. I probably say that when other people would probably be cursing or something, but
Yeah.
really like my goodness.
I wrote goodness as well. I'm a big like.
Yeah, there's a couple you can say with goodness.
Yeah.
And then I've got one. So we do a snake draft. So then I'll do 2 and then come back this way and Brad will do 2.
Okay.
You got it. I've only heard 2 people say this, and it's been Timon and you. And it is the word foot.
What?
Foot.
So I remember growing up, you always say, kiss my foot.
Oh, yeah. That's Barney Fife.
Yeah, you'd always say, kiss my foot. And I had heard anyone else say it. And then probably a week or so ago, Timon said it. We were all in a group text, me, Timon, Scott, Isaac, trying to plan out a Friday pickleball shoot day. And Scott is just like, I can't do here. I was like, what do I hear? Scott's like, I can't do this either. And then finally Timon goes, paternity leave my foot. It was hilarious. I was like, that's cool. You feel comfortable enough with Scott to say that.
My foot.
Also hilarious that you said my foot.
Yeah.
So I love foot as a substitute cuss word. Kiss my foot.
Kiss my foot.
Paternity leave my foot. Those are my 2 picks.
So that's a Barney Fife original, you think?
I don't know.
That's what you think of, though?
Yeah.
Barney Fife also came up with the word stupid.
Yeah. That's good.
My go-to is crap.
Yeah.
I say that a lot.
Did you get in trouble growing up saying that?
That felt like probably a little too extreme.
Yeah.
For a certain point.
Like I feel like all of these, I'm not letting Hattie say any of them, kind of thing. Like you don't say crap.
You don't say socks.
You'll let her say heck.
I know.
You might
I
as well
honestly, I've
You
thought
might
about it.
well
though.
just let her say the big one.
Hey,
let her go. Get her a tattoo.
we'll watch Coach, and then she'll start saying it. Yeah.
Do you have one like on the golf course? Like a bad shot, you shank one? You say crap?
Well,
Oh,
it's my
crap.
third one.
Okay.
Crap's my number 1.
Okay.
But-
We'll get back to it.
All right.
Brad, what's your second and third pick?
Give me this 3-syllable. It just feels good coming out. Dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit.
That was my dad's. My dad loved dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. Like it was the nabbit was a hard nabbit, you know? Oh,
hard nabbit.
Like
the hard in.
Come on. Like it's like, yeah, you know, I get caught stealing and I didn't even get to sign, but I'm like, I'm fast for my size. They're not gonna think I'm gonna steal. Thrown out in second. The inning's over. Dag nabbit.
Your dad's caught.
Dag
nabbit, Brad.
Dag nabbit. So that's one. And then my second one is just one that I use almost as often as frick. It's fudge.
I knew you were going to say fudge.
Yeah.
Don't like that one either.
Yeah. I know. Because it's too
so
good.
Close.
I know.
I remember specifically what would have been F12 maybe. And we're all playing pickleball. Like everyone's watching us play and you hit in the net and you would just scream fudge.
Fudge!
Like, Brad, I don't know.
Fudge!
They're like totally sure you're not saying it.
I'm not sure you should be raising children.
Yeah, exactly.
Call some people.
Oh, that's why it's a good cuss word, because it's close. It's something. Dag nabbit. Fudging. Yeah.
So this one might be too close to dag nabbit, but it's my second most word used is dang it.
Yeah.
And I would get in trouble for saying that when I was a kid.
Yeah. Hattie says that too. Man, maybe I need to reevaluate my parenting because.
Yeah. So dang it's
Dang it.
I like dang it. I say that one a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably I probably do that more than I say crap.
Ah,
Dang it's a lot. And in fact, you know, people at work and stuff they'll make fun of me, you know, because I was like, uh-oh, Triplett's mad. Triplett's mad.
Saying dang it.
Boy's settling down. So,
That's funny. All right, my last two. One, this one's for Rachel. She says this all the time. She says rats.
Yes.
She says rats all the time. Oh, rats. Where's my phone
rats.
at? I left my yoga mat at the Power Life. Oh, rats.
Rats.
So she's always saying rats. And then one, I don't use it that much, but I want to use it more.
Okay.
Crud.
Crud.
I think crud's just an old fashioned. It's a more wholesome crap.
Yes,
I think
it
doesn't
really is.
slap as
a
hard as
little more
crap.
educated.
Yeah,
A little more educated.
it's kind of a bachelor's of science crap version. Crud is nice.
I don't know if crud's more educated. You're not saying crud in a tuxedo. You know, like I don't think it's like high class. Like, thank you. Oh, crud! I forgot your valet key.
Yeah. Would you like the salmon Florentine? Oh, crud!
Oh,
I
crud!
forgot.
We're all out. Rats.
But I like crud.
Okay.
I want to say it more.
That's great. I would love to see people's reasonings for why they're voting for which one.
Yeah. What stands out to you?
You know I'm going to win.
I hope so.
You know I'm going to win.
Okay.
Is it my last one?
Your last one.
Your last one.
See, this is one, and I don't know if it's a country thing for a cuss word or like a triplet family, because but we used to always say it all the time. You know, you'd say, "Hey, yo, Asian."
Oh my! You can't.
I think that's like an actual cuss word.
You can't say that.
You can't say that.
We're gonna have to bleep that out.
Yeah,
I mean that's like a real.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We'd always say, "You Asian."
Stop.
Forget it. Doesn't
quit.
No matter what you put in front of it, Asian.
No.
No, don't say Asian.
Say, "Hey, you country."
No, you can't.
That's just as bad. That's just as bad.
Hey, you blonde-headed. No, it is not. You guys are messing with me.
I have not even really heard that many people say that word, but I know it's bad. Who have you heard say that word?
We said it all the time.
My pastor says it.
I mean, I
Steve, no, that's like, yeah, that's maybe like one of the top cuss words that I can think of.
Timon's gonna hear this 9 times. I have to bleep it out each time.
Oh my goodness.
Timon, you silly little.
You can't say that.
Are you guys messing with me?
Timon's gonna get. His parents are not gonna let him edit this episode. I'm gonna have to edit this.
Holy.
I don't know what we're gonna put in the.
Rachel saying, I can't believe what's it?
Rachel can hear it out there.
Golly.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I know. We're
Okay.
fine.
So-
we're without it. We're out of earshot from my kids. Luckily.
So does that count as my fourth?
no,
pick, or
you
wanna-
gotta do
I
a
think
different one.
you got to choose a different one.
So seriously,
Yes.
you know, I have noticed people when I say it,
Yeah.
because I thought, okay, this is my safe word.
Well, think about it. Think about when you're at a grocery store.
Yeah.
You don't say that.
That's like
Hey, where are the California?
it doesn't matter. I don't even know how to explain to you why it's so bad. I guess you just don't know. but it's like,
Oh my.
that's a really special thing to those people.
Right.
So
it's sacred.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
I would just try to work that one out. Maybe your next shmores could be a substitute for that word.
Boy, Grandma was right.
You are so
Oh, no.
Oh, you're surrounding the campfire telling stories with Uncle John again. Okay. All right. Do you have an alternative to
What have I said?
what
Besides
What the?
Crap.
Dang it and crap.
dang it,
Yeah.
crap. Holy cow.
Holy cow.
holy
Good.
cow? Pretty close to,
Holy.
yeah.
Yeah. Holy.
Is
I
that-
forgot to write that down.
Is that closer than Asian? I think you guys are
Hyman
messing
is
with
going
me.
to take
I think
5
you guys-
hours on this edit.
All right, I'm done. I will never be invited back on the podcast again.
Yeah, we had a good
Oh,
run.
my.
Should ask Brad's
Okay.
dad.
Holy cow. Holy cow is your last one. Yeah. My dad would never. Dag nabbit.
Sorry, Dean.
My last one, I'm going to go with, we have dang it, so I can't do this. I'm just going to go straight up with gosh.
Gosh was the first one I wrote down
Gosh.
because you could say it a few different ways.
Right.
Gosh.
Gosh. I like gosh dang it a lot, but I'm not taking that. I'm just taking gosh. Straight up.
Gosh. You throw oh my gosh in there.
Yes. Gosh. Or golly. I like golly. too,
Golly is good.
So I got frick, dag, nabbit, fudge, gosh. Steve said, what the crap, dang it, something, holy cow. And then Jake said, my goodness, foot, rats, and crud. You got any extras there? Any other ones?
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. Goodness gracious.
That's a good
I like that one.
Yep.
Um,
About doggone.
ooh.
Doggone.
I like tool for like a person.
Ooh, just you're
Like
a
a
tool.
replacement for some other words.
Listen,
that
you
guy's
tool.
a real tool.
Yeah.
Real piece of work.
What about 40-year-old virgin Kelly Clarkson? Remember back in the day?
Oh, people would use that.
He was like getting like chest wax.
yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
And he was saying, I was like, oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Well, you remember that old video of the Tourette's guy? He would say Bob Saget.
Bob
People would use
Saget was
that
another
as a
one.
substitute cuss word.
Yes, very good.
Bob Saget.
Stink.
Yeah, instead of socks. That stinks.
Or just like instead of the other, darn, stink. Fart.
oh yeah, what the fart?
Fart.
You have any honorable mentions?
I'm scared.
You've done enough for this podcast,
I'm
Steve.
scared. Shoot.
Yeah.
oh, shoot's good.
Shoots a
good.
classic. Yeah.
And I'm done. I'm not even.
Sam Hill. What in Sam Hill is this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? In Remember the Titans, they would say, "What in the John Brown hind parts?" Or
Yeah. Well, break off your John Brown hind
yeah,
parts.
that's what it'd say.
Yeah.
That was always kind of fun.
That is a good one.
I do have a game for Brad.
Oh, a game for
You have-
Brad.
Okay.
So with the
Got it
basement,
written down.
with
Yeah.
the basement flooding, my wife made this.
Oh, good.
Shoot, I was going to have her in here.
Shoot.
On,
Dagnabbit.
I was going to.
You want me to bring
No,
her?
no,
Okay.
not now. Not after I'm cussing like a sailor in here. Apparently. So when we cleaned out the basement, this is a bunch of the junk that we found that my son still had in our house, and I'm going to read you a list, and you
Okay.
tell me if it was Jake's or if it was made up.
Okay.
Oh wow.
A guitar.
A guitar.
Is that Jake's or is that something Jake didn't have?
Did Jake have a guitar? I know Jake knows 3 or 4 chords on the guitar.
GCD.
It sounds like he said Juicy D. I think Jake did not have a guitar.
He had one.
Really?
did.
You remember who you stole that from?
Drew Bynum let
Drew
me borrow
Bynum.
it, and then I broke a string off, and he didn't want it back.
I don't think we offered it to him.
So did you throw it away? Or you have it?
No, actually, that's one of the things we're going to put out. We got a bunch of stuff we're just going to put for free.
Yeah. That's one of the things like when my
Air
parents.
hockey table's leaving. Oh. Foosball table. Oh, foosball table got thrown away.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I
You had
hate
air hockey and
foosball.
foosball. Doing all right. No wonder you visited all your clients.
Karaoke machine.
Karaoke machine. A machine for karaoke. I'm going to guess once again, no.
That's Jake's.
I don't even remember that one.
He didn't use it very often.
They steal
it
that
seems
from
like.
somebody?
Longboard. Because we had a gravel driveway, so that'd make sense. We had a longboard.
He did have a little bit of like a cut off jean shorts phase. So I'll say yes.
Jake's.
Yeah,
Okay.
freshman year of college.
Oversized water gun.
Oversized. How
You know,
big
those
we
big
talking?
ones, those big ones,
Yeah.
two-hander.
Little like super soaker
Super
kind of thing.
soaker.
Yes.
Not Jake's.
No? Bummer. You got a karaoke machine, but no super soakers.
I can't think of
Rough life.
karaoke.
Electronic keyboard.
Sounds like something he would dabble on.
Jake's.
Yeah.
Learn the chords.
Hula skirt.
That one I'm more confident in than any of the other ones that he has.
Okay, and here's one we found in the basement. We think it's Caitlin's, and I hope it is because I want to embarrass her on. Inflatable porta potty.
What?
An inflate. Yeah, I saw it, and I go, Trish, what is this?
Is it a costume or is it
No,
like
it's just in case you're walking down the street and go, hey,
Or like at a beach or something.
somebody blow this up for me.
It's like just a little tent that you can just get
And
in.
then I do have one more thing. From cleaning the basement up, we would like to give Jake a gift, and there's a little explanation that goes on with it.
What in the world?
Don't get too excited. Rachel, sorry.
I love this already.
I don't know the porta potty or the karaoke machine. That was mine. Did I ever use that? Did I borrow that from Drew Bynum too?
I don't know.
All right, what do we got here? Oh, this is where it's been the whole time. How about this?
Wow. You guys don't understand the iconic.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow,
Look at
it's
it
like gone
frayed
through some
out.
stuff.
Yeah, it's been in the flood.
Basement flooded. Yeah. Oh, no, it is wet. Was this in
Is
the
it really
flood?
still
Yeah, it's wet.
It's probably damp from the air.
It was in the basement.
Yeah.
Little confession. You came home one weekend to do laundry, and your mother stole that hat from you
Did she really?
because she hated it so much.
Really?
That's amazing.
That makes sense.
He's wearing it way too often. He looks so goofy in that thing.
Yeah, God forbid I make memories with the youth ministry kids, that I'm
It just
Hired
looks
to
so
work.
bad.
Sabotage.
It looks so bad. God don't need you that bad.
Yeah.
That's
He'll figure out
so
another way
great.
to
so
do it.
funny. That does make sense because I was like, it doesn't like I don't lose things like this, especially that a hat.
Yeah, he just lost it out of nowhere. I remember.
She
Yeah,
hides stuff from me all the time. The other day, I went to my closet, and there's 15 new shirts hanging in my closet. I'm going, I forgot about these. She gets tired of me wearing the same, because I'll wear the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
this is my
from
new favorite shirt. I'll wear it
Oh, yeah.
once a week. And so, yeah, she'll just take them out of my closet and hide them. And I'm not smart enough to go look. I'm just surprised. I mean, it's Christmas
Yeah.
to me every week
Forgot
when she
about
brings
this
new
one,
stuff.
yeah.
So
it's funny that Mom got me that because for Mother's Day this weekend, I'm giving her clothes back that she left here last time she was here. So
That's great.
nice little trade.
yeah, Mom, and I didn't even know Mom stole that from you until the other day. She goes, "Yeah, I took it from him when he came home."
Because we talked about it
funny.
kind of recently on the podcast.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah,
talked
you guys
about
were just talking about it, and that's when she. Yeah, so basement
Yeah.
flooded. You got your wet hat back.
It's so
It's
nice.
been wet this entire time.
Yeah, it's been wet for 7 years. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't think I'll wear it anymore. But yeah, for like the K Life days, that was a special hat. People
Oh,
loved
yeah.
it.
So, are you and Rachel looking forward to the cruise or not?
Yes, to be honest, I'm looking forward to it a lot. But we got this Portugal trip first.
I know it. I don't like anything taking precedent over the cruise.
You know, that reminds me. I forgot we haven't even got into the questions yet. I forgot we got 100 questions for you to answer. But
You
somebody
and
asked you a
Catherine want to
question.
come on a cruise?
Here he goes.
Why are you asking?
Have you ever been on one?
I've been on one middle school we went. It was a carnival cruise.
Have you
which
been
I
on
did-
one since you've been married?
No.
That'll change your life.
Really? What do you love about them?
I honestly couldn't pinpoint it.
Okay.
Because I do have some basic, and I could take it or leave it. And I think when we took Jake on one, I don't think Jake probably cared if he ever went on another cruise. He got
Yeah.
bored. But for me, it's just they treat you like royalty.
Yep.
Very few decisions to be made.
Royalty's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know. Trish and I love everything about it.
Have you done an all-inclusive resort?
Yes.
before? And you like cruises more, or
I hated the all-inclusive resort.
what do you think is like the differentiation?
One thing we don't drink.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not.
And there's no such thing as a non-alcoholic all-inclusive resort. My
Okay.
travel agent laughed at me when I asked her about that. And I said, well,
You are stupid.
your grandma was right. If you don't drink, you don't, at the all-inclusive resort, I wasn't interested in doing all the silly games they had.
Okay.
And I think on a lot of them, you need to be a little
Right.
liquored up
Yeah.
to enjoy it. And where we went, we didn't know it until we got back, but they are kind of known for gourmet food.
Oh, okay.
And we almost starved to death. Do you remember when I took you the pic?
You almost starved to death. What do you mean?
Because it just
Oh, it was just too gourmet. Like, you're like, I don't want to eat
it
this.
wasn't real good. One
Oh, and
night,
it was like small portions.
one night I did notice one thing on the menu that I recognized was a loaded baked potato, and I thought, here we go, Daddy gonna eat good.
Yep.
And I sent a picture to the kids. I could hold it in my finger.
It's like a potato skin.
And they brought it on. You know, it's a plate that big, and they had the loaded baked potato, a carrot, and you know. And I'm like, yeah.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
Probably the nicest room we ever stayed in. They upgraded us once we got there, and they put us in like in a suite.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, and it's just it was different.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea, especially when you're married, of you pay once and you're good. You don't have to think about it. I don't have to be like, Catherine, are you sure? Like, you're getting cheese. It's $4 for cheese. Yeah. Are you sure you need that cheese? Like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, you don't have any of those conversations. So there's no like micro arguments with your spouse.
Yeah, and there's no decision on, hey, where do you want to eat tonight?
Right.
All right. Well, we signed up for the main dining hall. I mean, it's at 5:30. That's what time we have to be there.
Yeah, and
if you can't make a decision on what. One night we could not make a decision on the dessert. They said, "Oh, we'll be right back."
Yeah.
They brought us one of everything. They just
one
filled
of
the
every
table.
Yeah, because why not? Yeah, make it happen.
Trish and I are crews. I mean, we will play every trivia game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken dance classes, which I wouldn't do in Stratford. You couldn't pay me.
Yeah, well, there's something about
something about it. We cut loose on a cruise.
International waters, baby. That's great.
This cruise we got coming up. So Jake and Rachel, Caitlin and Braden, Steve and Angie Coop, Paul Shira and his wife, and we've been on a couple of cruises with them. Coach, Angie, Steve-O.
Okay, Steve-O's making
13 of us.
Okay.
Yep. And the first night I got talking to Trish about this, when it finally I got emotional. She's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm emotional every day. Yeah. Nobody cries more than I do.
Can we just take a stop? Like, how does Trisha react to you getting emotional? Does she kind of just roll her eyes at you?
Like the last 5 minutes of Undercover Boss. Like, what's she thinking?
Like going, I wish I'd have married a man.
Because I cry.
It would have been nice to have a man in the house.
I'm the more emotional one in our marriage as well. And sometimes I'm just like, do you just like think I'm not like really? I'm just feeling everything, so therefore it's not that big of a deal when I get emotional. Like, you know what I mean?
We've only been married 35 years, so I haven't had the chance to ask her yet.
Figured it out yet.
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't tell me the truth.
But
anyway.
like looking at her, does she just like, here goes Steve again, just crying? Or does she seem like, excited for you to be excited about this cruise?
Younger, I used to be embarrassed about it. Just because, I mean, seriously, I can watch a good commercial on TV and I'm going, oh, that was good. That was a cute dog.
Like Dumb and Dumber crying at the Folgers commercial.
Yeah, I just... and so now, I mean, now it's a joke with us all the time.
Yeah.
But
did it happen once you had kids, or have you always been emotional?
Always been emotional.
Yeah.
Always. So
it's really ramped up for me after having had it. Like I was a babe. I cried like a baby on my wedding day. Like just when she was coming down the aisle. Oh yeah, I was just crying like crazy. But like then once you have kids, I feel like then that was when the movies and everything started being emotional.
But neither one of my kids are emotional. I mean,
yeah. Jake's gotten more emotional, would you say?
I would say I feel like I've gained like just emotional intelligence, even with like knowing what my own emotions are, like being more empathetic towards other people. But I still feel like definitely more like logical, than emotional.
But yeah, I got emotional talking about that cruise that first night. And Trish goes, why? And I said, because a cruise is my favorite vacation.
Yeah.
If you said pick one form of vacation you want to go on, it would have been a cruise.
Yep.
And then if you say, you pick the group of people you want. I go, other than having Elvis Presley on the cruise, this is my dream
Your
team.
all-star. Yeah.
And I just, I can't wait to see Steve Coop on a cruise. I can't wait to see him chewing a kid out because the kid butt in front of him at the slide. Because him and John, we were just, you and Rachel got talking to your gay uncles.
Oh yeah,
at the wedding, and I said, I guarantee it, both of them are so excited to go down the water slide. And I mean, they'll be the only two adults on it, but I mean,
they're such kids.
Oh, and Steve just got a motor that he doesn't stop.
It's true.
I cannot wait. It is going to be so much fun.
I am really looking forward to it. So, all right, we got some questions here, and then we'll wrap up this episode. A couple rapid fire should be easy.
How long have we been going for?
I don't know, 50 minutes maybe.
All right.
If Jake was a girl, what would you have named her?
It.
If I was girl.
Oh, I don't remember. I know for Caitlin, it was terrible. You've gone through it. I mean, you'd pick a name, you go, oh, no, I went to second grade with him.
It's hard.
Used to lick the chalkboard. I'm
right.
not naming it.
Yeah.
Because I always liked the name Heather. But Heather was my girlfriend before Mom.
Oh,
but I just
gosh.
thought it was
Yeah,
pretty
you can't
nice.
do
So,
that,
you know,
Steve.
that,
Yeah.
That seems pretty obvious.
Like, I don't know. This girl's just going to be like a really successful, like beautiful girl.
I wanted to name you Pamela Anderson, but Mom was like,
I think for you at that time, if you were going to be a girl, because we didn't know, Annette, I think.
Annette? Mm-hmm. See, that seems different from what you told me. I remember back then you told me that you and Mom were big on like, we're going to do simple names and they're going to be like gender specific names, like no Taylors, no Logans, no, like nothing that could be, no Blakes. Like Jake, that's a boy. Caitlin, that's a girl.
I feel like Logan and Blake are like, maybe not anymore, but they used to be. Like growing up, those were boy names. Anyway.
Yeah, and they've kind of, they've changed.
I don't remember.
Taylor, Aaron.
Either way. John Luke Cave said, are trampolines a good anchor for a dog on a leash?
No. No, not if it's a small dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of questions about Jake's mustache. Just comment on that.
Half the questions were about my mustache.
And the angle that you took was like just a nice angle of the stash.
It surprised me because I didn't know, and I can't remember what video I saw with you with the stash, but when I first see it, I dislike it a great deal.
Okay.
But
then
then I kind of get used to it. So
it grows on you.
I could grow one.
Literally.
I know that.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm able to do this. Rachel likes it though. And people think she's lying, but she was the one who's like, yeah, grow a mustache for Europe.
You know what, Rachel's too much like Trish. She's not going to tell you. I asked Rachel yesterday, I said, are you more excited about seeing me or Taylor Swift? And she said, it's a tie. And I said, you've got to start telling the truth. I'm not going to believe anything you say.
When Jake was 12, what did you think he would be doing as an adult for a job or career?
Actuary or a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some
I knew it wasn't going to be
logical.
anything fun.
Yeah, right.
Just the most boring ones. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
You debated everything. We thought you'd be a phenomenal lawyer.
I still think that'd be fun. I'm down to take the LSAT here in a few years.
He debated like everything. Like if you said something, he would debate it. Is that what you mean?
He'd
Like,
tell you how you were wrong and
Okay.
why you, and he just would, and I'd have to get on to him. I'd go, hey, you got to let it slide or
Yeah.
you're not going to have any friends.
we've said the same thing to Hattie. Like Hattie, because Bo sometimes I think is trying to like no, Bo, the sky is blue. No, Hattie's green. It's green. It's like, Hattie, you're right. Just let it go. Like because we had said that we're like, no one's gonna be your friend if you just that first.
It does seem like me as a kid and Hattie as a kid are
There's a
pretty
lot of
similar.
similarities.
A lot of similarities.
What was your dad like? Does the humor span 3 generations?
I think it's very easily Dad's the funniest one in the family.
Yeah,
Would
it
you
seems
say
like it's
that?
always been passed down. It seems like a genetic thing that gets passed down. And yeah, he's a great storyteller. Always loved making people laugh.
And he's never the center of attention. My dad's always one that gets the little one-liners in there that just will make you cry laughing.
But it sounds like the stories you've told me back in the day, like he definitely like sought out making people laugh. Maybe not on a stage level like I do, but he would do these like improv scenarios with you, like going to the bathrooms and stuff.
Dad would always just try to catch me off guard. And so, when I was younger, middle school, high school, we'd go to Branson a lot and go to the shows down there. And
Branson.
we'd walk into, there'd be intermission and we'd be in the bathroom together and he would kind of separate from me and then he'd come back and he'd go, he'd call me a certain name and he'd go, hey, now are you still quarterback out of Oregon? And, and I just knew my dad would have been very disappointed if I wouldn't have gone on, and so one day we were walking in Branson and he goes, hey, you want to walk in the Presley Theater without a ticket? I go, let's see you pull this off. He goes, follow me. And so we walk in and, there's people working and Dad starts describing what it was like building that. He goes, oh, I remember that beam up there. Charlie couldn't get that bolt in. But anyway, we got the engineers on it. And we walked right in.
Really?
At a Branson show. So at intermission at Branson shows, they always introduce people that are well known. They used to always introduce my Uncle Doc because my Uncle Doc played on this Springfield Jubilee and with Porter Wagner and stuff and was quite well known.
Yeah, we randomly have a bunch of musical talent just in this little pocket of our family. Mm-hmm. No one else has it. Yeah. But on his side of the family.
We were at the Bald Narbors one night and he had at intermission my mom introduced as a former Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. And he was just so dry humor.
And she would go along with it?
Well, there's nothing you can do. I mean, once he throws that out there, I mean,
Right.
you've got to go along with it. And so, but yes, he was just that. Everybody in our family is funny. Like Uncle John. John's funny, but in a weird way. Because John will say things you're like going, oh, that.
Well, sometimes it seems like John's not trying to be funny, and he just is saying the way he says stuff, or like the way he laughs at himself just gets me every time. You know?
My sister is very funny. I used to always think Caitlin was funnier than Jake. I just always thought Kate had a little bit of pride. Where Jake
She was a little too like,
She's not going to put all that out on the internet.
right.
But Dad's definitely the funniest.
Yeah. Honestly, the having the bachelor party and having you guys all meet my uncle and my dad, it was like, okay, I thought I had a pretty funny family. It's good to see people like confirm it. I was like, I don't know. I'm sure everyone thinks their dad's hilarious, or my uncle says the craziest things, and that is probably true. All right, next question from Abby. Favorite brand of bologna?
Favorite brand of bologna? The cheaper the better, Abby. Don't give me the all beef bologna. I want all meat bologna. And that's where they just take whatever.
It's all meat, guys.
Seriously.
It's all meat.
Like hot dogs, I still love a hot dog on the grill. I love a hot dog on the grill. And we buy the all meat hot dog. And Trish has bought me the all Angus hot dog and I go, don't. They don't taste good to me. I want the beak, I want the liver. I mean, I want it all in there. So yes.
Cheaper the better.
Yeah,
Billy asked, if I was going to be a professional athlete, what sport would you have wanted it to be?
Oh, I'd want to be in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That's where you probably had the most talent. Now, looking back on it, seeing that I'm only 6 foot and your mother's 4'11" and 3/4, NBA probably wasn't the best. I mean, and that is one thing I look back on and go, why did you had him in football, basketball, and baseball? Why didn't you have him in tennis, bowling, and
soccer?
But you wouldn't have wanted to go. You wouldn't have wanted to go watch him do those things, would you?
You would get
soccer. No way.
God, that sounds terrible, doesn't it?
All of them. Bowling, tennis.
Bowling sounds bad.
Come on, Jake. Just very good, Jake. Okay.
Did you? Uncle John was an elite junior bowler. Never knew that until last weekend.
I never heard that either.
Yeah, traveled.
Junior bowler?
Traveled?
Bantam class. Not bantamweight, bantam class.
Is there weight classes?
But yeah, it was called the bantam. Yeah, I mean, he was quite the bowler.
That's funny.
Didn't he also play baseball?
He played Division I football.
Football, that's right.
Football, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Gosh.
How come Steve-O wasn't more athletic?
Or neither one of them.
The Triplett side,
Angie.
Took
it after Angie.
Angie. Joan asked, how are his knees in such good shape to be squatting all the time? She was at Grande Boo. I think she got to see you squat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like standing.
More fun.
Yeah, they all
down
make
low?
fun of me. Yeah, I like sitting down. I like squatting.
But you are
Kind of flexible.
it feels like what Jake's going to be like when he's,
It is crazy. I don't have an
65,
ACL on my left knee.
Oh, really?
I tore it my sophomore year, and back then it's just tough
Oh,
enough.
wow. A long time ago.
Yeah. And so, I having some knee problems about 10 years ago, and I went and had an MRI done on it. And he goes, you don't have an ACL. And so, when the kids were young, when we would play football, whoever I was playing defense against could only run a fly pattern or a curl pattern because I can't go left or right.
Right. No lateral. That's what I always say.
And so
I don't go lateral.
it was kind of boring for the poor, but I'm like going, that's all you can do. I mean, I can't go back and forth.
Yeah,
so.
fastball or changeup.
There you go.
Ross asked, what is it? This is kind of a trivia question. What does it mean to dap someone up? DAP.
I have no idea.
Well, give us a guess.
If you had to do it to Brad right now,
Hey,
I'll
dap
give
me
you a
up.
hint. You could do it to Brad from where you're sitting.
Dap
I
me
would
up.
say compliment.
Yeah, dap me up.
I have no idea.
dap me up
I
then.
would say, you're a fine looking man.
Thank you. Thanks for the
Consider
dap.
yourself dapped.
Did I dap you?
I've been dapped.
Oh, I'm a dapper.
Yeah, you're a very dapper man.
Savannah, dapping is like when you shake someone's hand like this. Or is it?
You want to dap me
I
up
don't
now?
believe that.
Yeah.
Savannah says, what's his job? No, actually she said, what his job?
What his job be?
What his job?
be?
Hey, dap me up. What your job be?
My job?
Yeah,
What your job?
Your job.
I'm a food salesman.
Sell food.
Food sales and dapping up, baby.
People wanted an update if you've had any fights since the last time you were on the podcast. No more fighting. No more road rage. No more fighting.
Trish doesn't like me talking about the fighting.
I think it's kind of cool that you've won so many fights.
Oh, the kid that beat me up died last week. So I'm back undefeated, baby. Bring it on, Timmy.
So I'm walking
Bring it
a little
on,
taller
baby.
now.
No one to be afraid of.
So it's funny. So I ran into Timmy. I ran into Tim probably about a year ago. And it was after we'd talked on the podcast about me getting whipped once. And so I ran into him. I said, oh, my gosh, Tim. I said, you know, I was telling him about the story. And I said, do you remember it? And he's going, I don't. I go, please. I go, I remember every punch thrown in that. I go, if your sister wouldn't have broke, you would have still been beating me.
Yeah.
I go, yeah. So don't have that to worry about anymore.
Okay.
Walk around a little more cocky.
Been sleeping a lot better last year.
Do a couple more. Laura Wilhite wants to know, she would love a review of the Springfield Buckies. What do you think of it?
Shoot. No, you had. What the? No, I was going to.
Dang it, crap.
I was going to stop at Buc-ee's and buy a bunch of stuff. I just now thought of it.
Dagnabbit.
You know, we're getting one. It might be a year or two. I don't know how soon it's going to be here, but up at Kansas City, Kansas, let's get one.
It is funny. Trish is a homebody. Once she gets home from work, she does not go out. And opening night of Buc-ee's, she goes, hey, you want to go to Buc-ee's?
What are we doing sitting around the house?
I know. And I thought, as much as how terrible that sounds, she never asked for anything. So we went to Buc-ee's. Shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
It is terrible. I love their brisket sandwiches.
All meat or
Yeah,
all brisket?
No, that's all brisket. Get the slice. If you get the chopped brisket,
Yeah.
you got a lot of fat in there.
Yeah.
A lot of fat.
Okay.
Somebody said out of the pastry section, they've got a thing called, I think it's called the beaver tail. Didn't like that.
All beaver.
All beaver, no tail.
Didn't like that. You had their beaver nuggets?
I have not. The only thing I've
was a
got
great
in
little
there
road
is,
trip.
the sandwiches. And I mean, I stop there now. We're only about 4 miles from there, so I do get gas from time to time there. But I haven't been inside it.
Well, yeah, I know that. Like, you go to a gas station pretty much every day to get your
I
Diet
used
Dr.
to.
Pepper.
I quit drinking pop.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow. Because of No Sugar Jake? You get a little motivated by him?
No, we went on the cruise because I'm a tightwad.
It all revolves around the cruise.
Yeah.
Every decision, every motivator is cruise based.
Well, the last cruise we went on was in middle of March, first week of March, I think.
Smart.
And,
Not a lot going on during that time, yeah?
it's spring break, and we went out of Fort Lauderdale. We were scared to death, but it wasn't bad.
But what'd you say? Mom came in second place in the
I
wet
did
T-shirt
tell-
contest?
I did tell Trish, I go, what were we thinking booking this cruise out of Fort Lauderdale on spring break? And so we were talking one night, I go, either you're in a wet T-shirt contest or I'm judging one. Pick whichever one you want. But so, yeah, this non-alcoholic drink package was going to be, I think it's like $20 a day.
Okay.
I go, you know what? I'm not paying $140 bucks for it. And so Trish goes, well, why don't you start drinking coffee? So I'm a coffee drinker now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Main Street Roasters only.
It's the only thing I've drank.
Good.
Yeah.
You go to Common Grounds in Stratford, or what do you do?
I just drink black coffee.
Wow.
You went straight from Diet Dr. Pepper for the last 50 years of your life to just black coffee?
Well, but
That's crazy.
here's my reasoning on that.
We got this cruise coming up.
Well, Trish, we got a cruise coming up. No, Trish drinks coffee. She fills her cup halfway full, and then she buys
It's like Snickers brand creamer. It's the
Chef Mate creamer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sugariest thing.
We're putting us in the poorhouse on that.
So she fills up the other, like a ton of cream.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where Jake gets his sweet tooth from.
Yeah.
But when I don't, but I told her, like, so, Lord, when we went on the cruise,
It's all cruise based.
but no, we went out and they didn't have
All roads lead back to Royal Caribbean.
no,
Galveston.
it all ties together. So when we went on, they didn't have the creamer that she liked. So she didn't drink coffee. And I go, so I'm just going to learn to like black coffee. I mean, and then, boy, every once in a while it smells like a skunk though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
But-
yeah, the wrong kind of black coffee is not good. Is that what you mean? Or like, yeah.
So, but I've just been drinking it since March. So, but yeah, it's allowed me to get off the pop. And so, the other day I
for
did
you.
go in the convenience store and they were all worried about me.
Yeah.
Because they used to see me 2-3 times a day. And
Well, that's why I
hadn't seen
figured
me.
they were just like, oh, he's another victim to Buc-ee's, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sure those
Yeah.
people are going out of business and maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. But
Yeah. I really don't go into Buc-ee's. So, sorry, that was a long question.
yeah.
So that's the Buc-ee's review. There you go, Laura.
Cheap
had-
gas, though.
Yeah. I've had all this time. Oh, here we go. Just feel free to tell any story. Sarah says, first car stories, car accidents. Anything?
Never had a car accident.
What was your first car?
1974 Chevelle.
Sounds nice.
Bought it for $450.
Sheesh.
But back then, that's when, and I really wish, because in high school, we all had cars jacked up. You had the big wide tires on the back. And you just don't see that anymore. I still think it's cool, but that's probably because that's the age I grew up in. 'Cause I can still remember shopping for Jake's first car after the truck went out on you. So he had a
little farm
pickup
truck hand me down.
And we went out car shopping, and we drove 2 cars that were, I don't even remember what they were, but they were 2-door kind of sport car. And then he decided on a 4-door car.
Okay.
I'm going, who have I read? I go,
He's too logical. He's like, well, I can fit way more of my friends in here.
I go, we would have made so much, we would have beat you up if you would have showed up at a high school parking lot with a 4-door car. And he goes, I can get more friends in here.
Yep.
And that was his reasoning. And I thought that.
Yeah. Bigger trunk space so I can fit my football and baseball stuff in here.
Yeah. So, 74 Chevelle. Oh, love that car.
Is that your favorite? Like, what's been your favorite car you've ever had? You got one that's just like, that was a cool one.
I don't care about cars.
Okay. Not really into them.
All right, we'll do last question. If you could tell your 25-year-old self anything, what would it be?
25.
25.
You've had Jake by this time, correct?
You've been married, and I'm a 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Take us back. Take us back, Steve.
I wish I had some wisdom.
That's a tough question to answer, especially on the fly.
What kind of person were you as a young, newlywed man / new father? Like, do you remember struggling with Jake or struggling with?
We were scared to death to bring him home from the hospital.
Yeah.
I say I was. I'd never been around kids.
Right.
I tell people all the time, the only reason we brought him home is because we didn't have enough money. I'd have raised him in the hospital.
That first drive home is terrifying.
Scared to death.
It's like, we just do it by ourselves now?
Where were you guys at financially at the time?
I think net worth was about $11, $12.
That's what I thought you had told me previously.
It was
we couldn't afford a day of non-alcoholic beverages on a cruise, I'll tell you that.
We found an old checkbook. And this was when we first got married. We'd been married a year. And, back then I still balanced a checkbook every day and everything. And it was nothing to have $1.72.
Yeah.
$5, and
that's what you had in your checking account?
Yeah.
It's like $5.
And we didn't have savings.
And you were a year into marriage?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Trish and I both graduated with a college degree in 1989. And back then the economy was not good. I mean, you had to know somebody to get a job. We both got out of college making $3.25 an hour.
It's a lot.
Student loans. Student loans. But I used to always tell the kids, there's nothing wrong with being poor, but you need to have goals to work hard and not be poor. I mean, because life's a little bit easier when you're not poor. But some of the fondest memories I have first being married, when we moved into a duplex, and it was in a rough area of town, we didn't have the money for an entertainment center. So Trish found some boxes and wrapped them in a pink bed sheet. And we had 3 different size boxes. And we were so proud of that. We called my mom and dad and said, you've got to come and take a look. You've got to come over here and take a look at that.
Check it out.
And I mean, we were happy because she thought, let's wrap this box in a sheet. We thought, and then I remember one day she was doing laundry and she found a $5 bill. And I'm telling you, it was party on.
Yeah.
I've told the kids a story. I don't remember what we did with the $5, but I mean, it changed her night.
Right.
Right. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
It's fun. And Trisha just, she's so easy to get along with. Because I get on to her every once in a while. I'm going, every once in a while, I just love for you to just go off on me.
Just get mad.
I know I've got to make you mad.
Yeah.
I mean, playing with the ring again, gonna lose it. But yeah, and I get on.
He drops it once an episode.
You have got to get on to me. I go, I would love it just one time, but no, she doesn't. So, no, I really don't have any advice. Be happy.
Be happy.
Figure it out.
All right. Before I leave, I do have to brag on Brad. I'm going to get on to you for one little thing because you have no idea how miserable you made my life. I'm going to start with that one, then I'll brag on you.
Oh,
so
okay.
A lot of the podcast listeners probably don't remember this, but it was Had to be in the last year because it was after Brad met my best friend of over 40 years, Paul Shira.
Great guy.
Paul lives in San Diego.
Yeah.
He's so-so.
He's like, he's like way younger than you, though, right? He's like probably 42, 43.
So we've been best friends for over 40 years.
Really?
We're pretty rough
You've
on
known him
each
since
other.
birth. Wow.
So Brad makes a comment on the podcast is, man, you know, your dad's friend he looks 15 years younger than him. And I gave Brad a pretty hard time about it then. Paul has taken that sound clip, and that is his ringtone. And he is the head of a missions board. And I called him the other day, and I'll just keep redialing until he answers. He was leading a missions team, and he wouldn't answer it because he wanted them to keep hearing it.
Listen to what he said.
Did you hear it the first time?
He goes, the second time he called, he just held up a finger and did this to him. And so, yeah, you made my life so miserable.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I was just trying to, make him feel better.
You know
about
what?
himself.
It's
Let's
not
be honest. He doesn't. I mean, he looks young, but he got that weird looking face.
Give
Right?
it a ringtone material.
Yeah, he's got like some squishy. Like he looks like he's like a deflated balloon or something on top of his shoulders.
I tell him he's the only skinny fat guy I know.
Yeah, 100%. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw
Paul's
the guy.
I love Paul. And then the week after that was when Jake's win of the week was meeting my wife's old boyfriend. And you'd have thought he had met Michael Jordan. As excited. Yeah. Great. But no, what I got to brag on you about here a few weeks ago, and you did not get the credit you deserved on this because I waited to see if anybody commented.
Okay.
Jake was rambling on about everything that happened to him in New York, and he said within 30 minutes, 2 people had asked me if I wanted to change my religion, and all you said was, "Go, did you?" And I'm telling you what, I laughed at that. I thought that was the funniest thing just because it was so quick.
So quick.
But it just went on, and Timon didn't laugh at it. Jake didn't. And I go, this is the best thing that was said on this
Really?
podcast today.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. I rewound it a couple times. Did you?
Did you? It's the little things that people sometimes, like at Gulf Shores, we had a few different people that would be like, oh, that one thing you said. I'm like, I don't even, that's like a 2-line or 2-word little thing that people just stick to. So that's amazing.
Stuff like that does kind of happen. I was listening back to one of our episodes. I was listening back to the jingle where you and Timon were doing, do you want to build a snowman? And then you both told me a riddle at the same time. And I got Timon's riddle. And there wasn't a single comment about that. I was like, that is one of the more impressive things I've ever done.
Yeah.
I answered a riddle I'd never heard before while another one was being told to me. I was like, no, give me one
Come
comment.
on, guys.
Well, just one comment.
This is all improv. I promise this is not staged.
All right. Well, let's get on with our Saturday. Ghosties, let you get on with your Wednesday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.
Say some nice things about Steve in the comments. He would appreciate it.
Just vote for me.
Vote for me, but vote for Steve in the comments. You can.
Yeah. Thanks for all the ghosties for answering the question or asking the questions. And we'll see you guys next Monday.
All right.
See you guys.
Love you guys.
Ghostrunners Podcast. Every